professional courtesy. I used to work in an aquarium for many years, so I took a number of lawyers scuba diving with the sharks. But we don't have any sharks here at the zoo, so I figured an alligator would be good. So just so that I'm not some random voice, this is me. I'm Mike Terrell. I'm the general curator here at the zoo. And more importantly, this is Marshmallow. Marshmallow is one of our American alligators. And there we go. I was trying to get her out of the sun so you could see her a little bit better. So this little guy, and we think it's a guy, we're not really too sure, is 3 years old. And so it's kind of hard to figure out what sex an alligator is when they're young. So we assume that it's a male. But he gets his name from a naming contest that we did with a bunch of kids. And they thought Marshmallow was a very appropriate name for an alligator. But if you've ever been out on an airboat and seen people feed marshmallows to alligators, that's not a really great idea. These guys are amazing swimmers. They have these wonderful webbed feet and these little claws that they use to dig into the banks with. You notice their eyes, and if you've ever seen an alligator in the wild, maybe you've only seen their eyes because that's how they float on the surface. They're with their eyes sticking up out of the water, and then maybe they're so that's the end that you have to stay away from because that's the end that bites. So people ask me all the time, do alligators bite? And the answer is yes. Anything with a mouth can bite, but now you can really see those teeth. So even though he's a younger alligator and has small teeth, he still has a really, really strong bite. So unfortunately, if I got my finger in there, I would actually be more worried about the fact that he's latched onto my finger than the actual damage that the teeth can do. The other really neat thing about alligators is their tails. So I'll see if I can pull their tail up here so you can see it. So you can see as far as the length of the alligator goes, here's the alligator body, and then as long or even a little bit longer than his body is their tail. So they use this tail to swim through the water. It's nice and flat, very muscular, and that's what propels them through the water. Now I've got a question for you guys. Anybody can answer. How do you tell the difference between an alligator and a crocodile?
The nose?
No. Go to Africa.
One has a pointy nose. One says, see you later. And one says in a while.
That's exactly it. It's after wild crocodile, see you later alligator. You're exactly right. However, if you're not talking to them and they're not talking back, which is probably a good thing, you can tell by their teeth. So a crocodile's teeth, its fourth tooth is usually visible, as well as their nose. So crocs have a much narrower nose than an alligator that has a broad snout. But you don't have to go to Africa to see crocodiles. We actually have crocodiles that live here in Florida. They're native to Florida. We're the only state that has crocs native. But alligators can be found all over the southeast. So we have another special thing that we're going to show you here with our alligator. But before we look at that, does anybody have any questions about gators or Marshmallow?
Is there any truth to the statement that crocodiles are more aggressive than alligators?
Yes, that is absolutely true. And depending on the crocodile, there's even degrees of aggressiveness there. Cuban crocs, for example, are known for their aggressiveness, and then as the African crocodiles are really aggressive as well. The state of Florida, because you guys are lawyers, I don't know what kind of law you practice, but the state of Florida actually acknowledges that in the fact that crocodiles are considered what's called a class 1 animal, which is the animal that can do the most damage, whereas alligators are class 2 animals.
Uh-oh.
Hey, everybody, look at the alligator and smile for a second. Thank you. Apologize for interrupting.
That's all right. All right, so I'm going to put Marshmallow away. If you guys have any other questions, let me know. But I'm going to introduce one other person that's working with me today. Her name is Emily, and she's our herp supervisor. So that means that she's in charge of everything that's scaly around the zoo, all of our alligators, our snakes, our turtles, all that kind of stuff. And she's going to show us something special with a slightly larger alligator. So if you want to head over there to Emily, I'll just kind of keep talking while I put Marshmallow away. So that's Emily right there, and she's got a special device in her hand. It might look like a fishing rod, but it's actually a way that we feed our larger alligators. So we're going to feed our alligator Fred. And Fred is considerably larger than Marshmallow. Let's see if we can get over the side here. So I don't know if you guys can see Fred down there. Let's see, there we go. So there's Fred, and Fred's gonna get a rat treat today.
Ooh.
So we've got actually three larger alligators here. We've got Fred, his girlfriend Wilma, and then we have a leucistic alligator. Leucism is a lot like albinism. So the alligator is white; it's pure white, but it has blue eyes and even a few little polka dots on its nose. And his name is Marty. He's been here for quite a while. So we have one more thing that we're going to give Fred here. So we like to form really great relationships with our animals. And one of the ways that we do that is give them fun and unique things in their environment. So, he's a Florida alligator. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to toss him an orange. And it's basically just a toy. And so we'll see what Fred does with the orange. So let me make sure we can see Fred here. There we go. We're going to toss it down there and, oh.
Fetch,
he's like, where to go? He's like, it went under my jaw. But you can see just how fast they move. These guys are ambush predators, and so they do seem to move slowly. But when they want to move, they can move extraordinarily fast.
That's the relationship with lawyers.
Yeah. There's the parallel right there. These guys also eat just about anything that comes around them. They can be sweethearts, they can be really aggressive. So yeah, there's a lot of parallels there with lawyers.
Well, thank you, Palm Beach Zoo, for joining us and
Yes.
sharing those facts with us.
Yay.
Yeah, no problem. And if you guys ever have a chance to come down and see us, you can see Fred and Wilma in person. But you guys have any other questions?
Big fan of Marty.
I'm sorry?
I'm a big fan of Marty.
Yeah, we get little kids coming in, and that's the first thing that they want to go see is Marty the white alligator. He's very special.
So are you allowed to feed the little kids to the alligators?
We do not feed little children. As the tempting thing is that might be on occasion. We've never fed any children to the alligator. Or lawyers for that.
What do you do with iguanas that you find on the zoo property?
So we let them be. They wander around the property a lot. Sometimes they make really bad decisions, and they get into our bear yard, and our bears will run them down and have a little treat for themselves. So yeah, it's pretty amazing. You don't think of a few 100-pound black bear running after an iguana, but it does happen on occasion.
When you say you let them leave on their own, what if they don't leave?
Then we don't actively feed them. We've got a lot of resident animals that aren't permanent, animals that are here at the zoo. Our habitats are really awesome for our animals that we have, And so we'll attract other animals on occasion. We had a wood duck, a fly-in wood duck that lived with our flamingos for about a year. We have ibis that come around. I don't know if you can see it, but out there in the middle is a moorhen. And so that's not one of the resident animals, but he's decided, the alligator habitat is a fun place to hang out. So hopefully Fred and Wilma agree.
Very cool.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
All right. Well, thank you guys for letting us visit. We really appreciate it, and hopefully we'll see you here at the zoo.
Thank you very much for coming by.
All right. Take care.
Thanks.